this computer. Great. Okay, so the means being recorded means don't say anything silly because this is being reprinted and posted all over the place, and I don't want you to harm yourself. Again, for those who are new, my name's Edmund Vogan. I'm a realtor in South Florida. I also lead this bunch of yahoos into figuring out just what we're going to do with our careers and be able to build and grow and be able to, in today's topic, harness technology to streamline your real estate business. Daniel, can you put the link up for everyone to download the workbook? This is something that we started doing with all these meetings. If you'd like to have an actual copy emailed to you, we could do that as well. But we do like to kind of give you something that you're going to be able to work with and take home and be able to utilize. This is a guideline at best. You know, what I want to talk with all of you about is just thinking through your work. That's the first thing that you're going to see on the workbook. And Alicia, I see you're driving. We will get that emailed out to you as well. Just focus on the road, please. I couldn't live with the guilt if, God forbid, you hurt yourself because of this meeting. So I did my DNA search, guys. I'm 3% Jewish grandmother, so I worry about everything. But I'd like you to think through just what are the day-to-day tasks that you have. And on the workbook, there is to list all the tasks in your real estate business. We're going to start with Terry. We're going to go to Greg, and we're going to go to Lisa as well, who I just want you to throw out one of your tasks or more, if you'd like. Terry, let me pick on you. What's one of the real estate tasks that you have?
Today is making follow-up phone calls to everyone who's invited to our event next Wednesday.
Okay, follow up on event. Okay, very good. Greg, I'm picking on you next. Give me a task that you have. Okay, Lisa, I'm going to pick on you. Give me a task that you have.
I have to do a CMA for someone and make a gazillion phone calls.
CMA. Okay, Lisa. When you say a gazillion phone calls, what kind of calls are you making?
Just follow up, and it could be Sphere, anybody who pops up in my CRM.
Okay, also Lisa. Great. I'm going to pick on Levette. You know you're not getting out of this unscathed. I'm going to pick on you in a minute as well. And some of the new people, Michael and Marcelo. I don't know if I could unmute Michael or Michael Vieg. Michael, can you unmute?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Where are you, Michael?
I am in New Hampshire.
Cool. Okay, good. Well, welcome to the group. I'm glad that you came here. Can you throw out a task that you have on a fairly regular basis or something that might be on your mind today?
Yeah, expires. Wednesday's my big contracts day class. We have classes all morning for contracts, but typically calling expires.
Calling expires, calling them, and we're going to call that Michael. Okay. Must be getting cold there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And Levette was chiming in. Levette, just introduce yourself to everyone so we know who you are and where
I'm
you are.
sorry. I'm actually traveling today, so I'm kind of running to my next gate. So
Okay.
my apologies.
But then
listening,
now
but
I've got you. Give us one task that's on your mind, Levette. Come on. You can do it.
To be honest with you, I'm not haven't even really been following the conversation. I just got off my flight.
Okay.
And so my apologies.
The question that I had is, what tasks do you have to perform your real estate business? Just give us there's a reason I'm asking you all this, guys. We're going to go through this for a couple minutes, and we're going to then talk about how technology could be a part of your solution. So it could be absolutely anything. You could say sorting paperwork. I mean, I'd rather you be a little more creative than that, but is there a task with that you could throw out?
Oh, sorry. What task?
Okay.
I can't think of anything.
You're preoccupied. You weren't expecting
right?
that. I'm sorry. What about Marcelo? I was picking on Marcelo a second ago, and I'll get to Eddie Glance in a minute. Okay, or Eddie Glance. Guys, come on. This is an interactive meeting here. We need to pick it up. Eddie, hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. So give us a task or two that you actually do on a regular basis.
Circle prospecting around new listings,
Oh, circle prospecting.
and then expireds.
Okay, we got expireds, but that's good. You want to give me one more for good measure? How about something that you hate?
CMA, but we got CMAs already, I know.
Okay.
Um,
I'm going
I'll
to
throw
get,
something up in the chat in a second.
okay, put something up in the chat. Sandra, Dramone, Lucia Silva, Vago. I'm going to pick on Hadika. I'd love to be able to get your inputs in here. Sandra, maybe you want to chime in
Yeah,
on a task that you
yeah,
have?
sure. I need to follow up with the buyer who's sort of lukewarm buyer, but I have some notes to follow up on with her. And then also I really need to work on my CRM system, which is definitely been on the back burner for a long time. Just building up, and entering names and contacts and so forth in my CRM system.
Okay. Sandra, where are you? I think it's your first time here, right?
Yeah, I'm based in New York City.
Oh, where? I moved from there 11 years ago.
Oh, Upper West Side.
Oh, good. Fantastic. Well, welcome to the meeting. Glad to, and what brokerage are you with?
Brown Harris Stevens.
Fantastic. Welcome. We love having. Hedika, can I get you? Nobody's focusing on this here.
How about a buyer consultation?
Okay, Lisa, buyer consultation. Thank you.
Hi, Ed. This is Hedika.
Hedika, great. Can you give us?
Happy New Year. Actually,
Thank you.
I'm very, very preoccupied with holidays. So my task even now that I'm talking to you, I'm like cutting vegetables and preparing for the next 3 days. So yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully after holidays, I have some plans, but nothing.
I'm not going to let you off that easy. Pretend it wasn't the Jewish holiday now. What exactly would you be doing? Give us a task that you struggle with.
For me, it's basically follow-ups because I do see a lot of people. I make a lot of connections, and then I just don't follow up. That's my issue. So I'm struggling with that a lot. So
Okay. Well,
yeah.
we'll talk about that. Thiago, Lucine, Silva, or Marcelo, can any of you unmute yourselves? I promise I won't bite.
Hey Edmund, how are you?
Hi, how do I pronounce your name? I'm sure I'm saying it wrong.
Tiago.
Tiago, and where are you, Tiago?
Currently I'm in Lisbon,
Lisbon,
Portugal.
Okay.
Yeah.
You must know Eitan Benzano.
Sorry?
You know Eitan?
I'm not sure.
Okay, no, okay, then that's because we have someone else. I thought he might have invited you. So I don't know how it works in Lisbon, but give us a task that you have to struggle with. Give us something that, as far as real estate sales go, something that you do, either struggle with or just regular task.
Over here, I think the main struggle is for us to get a really more personal relationship with the owner, so that they can do more, that we can have some kind of leverage to do the business, right? So that they don't focus just on the business, they focus most on the relationship.
Okay. Thank you for that. So you see, guess what? It's the same thing in the United States. How do you like that? We're not so different.
I guess not.
We're not so different. Okay. Let me just see. Anyone else want to chime in? Rich's iPhone. I see Rich. You're kind of looking at me like the thinker there.
That's right.
Okay. Rich, where are you?
Follow up and consistency with staying in touch with clients. They always generate other leads for you, and if you're not around, they look elsewhere.
Okay. You're 100% right. And what about how consistent should you be without being annoying, right?
Well, I think if you have the right relationship, they look for new information. There's always new information coming down the pike, but if it's coming from someone else, that becomes first to supply, and they diminish you.
Sure. And Rich, tell us, where are you?
And Michigan.
Michigan, great. Welcome. Greg, I saw that you're unmuted. Can I get a word out of you? Usually you've got sites.
Absolutely.
Okay,
So
great.
kind of the first three things that I do every day are review the hot sheet from the MLS, write my notes because I'm old fashioned and I still write handwritten notes,
Okay.
and check to make sure my scheduled social media posts are going to go out.
Social media posts. Okay. And how are you posting your social media? You doing it by hand or what's
No, I have a excuse me, a brand new system, and I'm trying to think of the name of it. Back at You, which schedules them for me and actually creates the content, and that's what I'm watching very closely these days. But I used to use, oh, I forget the name of it, but another scheduling system where I could schedule them out for the future.
Can you just tell us the name of that again so that Daniel could look it up and post it for everyone? Greg is a good guy to know. He suddenly comes up with this idea or something that he's done, and it's been great. All of you are great to know, but Greg in particular mentions something, and it's like, wow, why didn't I think of that? So, what's the name of the tool?
It's Back at You, all one word, no spaces.
Back at You. Okay. So that's what you're using to put out your social media.
Yes.
Okay. So great. Thank you all. Let me just go through this so everyone could hear. And if anyone wants to throw in some more things, all of you, in particular, Terry needs to follow up with an event. Lisa's doing CMAs. Lisa's also doing follow-up in Sphere. We've got expired calls by Michael. We've got circle prospecting by Eddie. We've got buyer follow-up, and that's Sandra. We've got a CRM also that needs to be made. Buyer consultation, again, more follow-up. Personal relationships, apparently it works the same way that, believe it or not, in Europe, they have relationships too. Who knew? I'm kidding. And consistently in staying in touch, the hot sheets, write notes, and schedule social media. Does anyone else want to throw something out there that defines a realtor, that defines you? Okay, we've got enough to actually get started here. What I want to do, and again, this is a great thing for you to do in your workbook, is stop and think through what is in the follow-up. Terry, since you were the one that mentioned the follow-up, you didn't get away with it so easily here. Let me just do this. How are you following up? And then as a group, I want to chime in on what Terry might be able to do, either with tech or otherwise.
Well, we have blasted out the our design flyer, which is now on the Rain Nation page. Should have done that a week ago. I'm a terrible human being. So we've blasted that out to a couple hundred people. Excuse me. What this is an industry city, which is kind of the Soho, becoming the Soho of Brooklyn. We are inviting all of the design firms down there, like ABC Carpet, Design Within Reach, Restoration Hardware, to meet with high-end real estate agents. If you need to stage a house, if you have a building that needs lobbies and hallways and such coming through, to bring these people together so that they can meet each other and network. So we don't necessarily need to reach out to the design houses anymore because we've got like a dozen of those on board. So we're reaching out to the high-end teams that were wanting to come to this. We have sent them the flyer again. When was that? On Monday. So I'm reaching out to these people. I tend to have relationships with these people anyway. So some people I text, some people I call. It depends upon what my communication relationship with them is. And I'm just trying to give that personal touch to it so that so that they'll come to the event.
Sure. Okay. So here's an idea to help you along. And one thing that you might want to consider. Again, guys, write this down. Never do what you can outsource and never outsource what you can automate. There's got to be a certain level of automation here. The only thing I'm not hearing with this, it's great. You got the event, you got everyone coming along. So, Terry, how many follow-ups do you think you need to do? Not that you're going to do, but you think you need to do. Okay, so
for the high-end teams that I want to come, I need to make about a dozen of these calls, texts, blah, blah, blah. They will bring, hopefully they'll bring 5 or 6 people for their team, but I only need to reach out to the head of the team.
Okay. So did you hear what he's doing here? He's actually using a little bit of leverage. You're meeting more people. Now, these are lead sources for you?
No, I also want contractors and developers to come here as well. They're my calls tomorrow. They're who I really want to come because I want to be the person who sells their developments. But if I can't get, I need to get these teams to be here to fill up the room and network with each other so that we are hoping that this becomes like an annual event. And we want it to grow and become something really epic.
Okay.
And these are the people that set these teams are the people that set the standards, if you will, that have the big buildings and big blah blah blah. So
Okay.
I want them to be here.
So here's the technology to help you along.
Cool.
What you should consider doing is creating a dedicated telephone number for whatever event you're doing. If you want to do event marketing, now that dedicated line, you could get them really cheaply. They're really not a very big expense. And from there, you're going to be able to make that the dedicated line. Two things actually go into it. One, a voicemail on that for whatever the flavor of the week is. In this case, it's one event that you've got going on where when people call, it's like, hey, you reached Terry. And of course, we got this event coming up at 1234 Banana Street, whatever the whole thing is, if they actually call that number. If they do, there's a technology within that where you're going to capture the numbers that call in. Okay. So when people actually hit that line, and Daniel and I will get that together. Daniel, I know you know what I'm talking about. There's where you actually captured those numbers that have actually called into that. So Daniel, we'll be able to go through it afterward. Again, this meeting was to find out what everyone's doing to try and make a custom-made shirt. If you have people actually calling in, you captured the telephone numbers. Then you're going to use one other technology. Is anyone using Forewarn? Anyone using Forewarn? Okay. Forewarn.
Yeah, our state association provides it to us.
As does my association provide it for me as well. Forewarn is a great tool. I've got a couple single women in my office said they should have it on the dating apps. You could enter someone's telephone number into it. It will give you a very quick, not 100% accurate, Greg, I think you would agree with that, but it will give you a very quick overview about whether that person is like a criminal. We found out that somebody was on the sex offenders registry from this thing. So, I'm in a team full of women. We're not going to work with that guy. It's very easy to walk away from a random buyer. It's a great tool. But in your case, one of the things that you could do, people now call this line they were suggested to call. You're going to be able to go to Forewarn and look them up and be able to get further data on them. Right? You'll be able to get the actual email. You'll get their mailing address, their full name, and be able to get them into the database. Remember the rule of crap: capture, reward, automate, and plan. You're capturing these leads this way. So Terry, if you want to make the most of this, let's consider this. We're going to get the name of that technology to you.
Thank you.
Now, I think everyone needs to know that it's humanly possible. Let me go on with Lisa, CMA.
I have a question about it, though.
Please.
Can that number be used for other events as time goes on?
This is your event line.
Oh, this is my event line. So I just changed.
An event. You must have an event line. Just before this day is out, you get yourself an event line, because here's the thing: if you have it, all of us are just using. We all love tech, but we're all thinking about it in the old way of using it. That I'm trying to get, I want to squeeze the juice out of the fruit here. I want to be able to get as much opportunity. And part of it is not just the calls that come in, but how have you actually captured those people for future use? Well, when you've got them, now we could talk about things that you can do. Keep in mind, all of us are overwhelmed with messaging. I mean, I'm sure you got a bunch of messages from me. Some of you have told me that we piss you off, and we're trying hard not to. I mean, I'm being honest here. I've got a business to grow. This is it. And I've got to communicate that, but I've got to figure out a way to do it that's not going to piss too many people off. So, can I move on to Lisa? Terry?
Sure.
Oh, sure. Why not? I like Lisa. She's worth it.
Lisa, tell everyone who you are and where you are.
Lisa Murray, Fountain Hills in Scottsdale, Arizona. Russ Lyon Sotheby's.
Fantastic. So CMA, tell us what you're doing with CMAs right now.
Oh gosh. I just pull from all kinds of stuff. We've got a system, collateral analytics within Sotheby's. I use Cloud CMA, obviously the MLS. You know, I look at Zillow and all the online sources that a regular person is going to be looking at to see what they're looking at.
Okay. And
Uh,
and do you have a problem with making the CMA itself or time thing?
no, no, I just probably spend too much time on it, quite honestly.
Okay. So let me throw one thing out to you. Daniel, I'm going to send this to uh here we go. I'm going to send this to Daniel and he's going to put it out to everyone because I thought the way where we were going was that you will need to create a CMA. And what I'm doing right now is giving everyone, Daniel, I'm sending it to you now. I know you hate when I do this, but I'm doing it. So there. Daniel, I just sent you for those who don't know Daniel, you can wave to everyone. Daniel's a great guy. He's our producer here. He's taking care of this. I sent you a prompt, a multi-part prompt that could be used on ChatGPT to help you create a CMA. Now, there's many, many different ways to do this, and this is one you might actually hate it. I hope you don't. I hope you like it, and I hope you see the value in it. But Daniel, if you could actually, quickly typeset that and put that into a downloadable file, I'll try and keep other questions away from you because the poor guy's moving in 20 different directions. So that's one thing. Two, Lisa, when you said CMA, what are the things how many CMAs do you have to get out today?
Just one today. But I do a lot of real estate reviews, so I find that I'm doing them more frequently now than I typically did in the past.
And is this from the same farm that you're used to working on?
No.
Okay. Okay. So
And the one today is completely outside my area.
Okay. So then it may be a bit of a moot point, but I do want to share an idea with everyone if you're willing to take a look. And I'd like to share my screen. This is Claude. It's a competitor to ChatGPT. And actually, just to show, some of the great ideas, I got this idea from Greg because he said one of the things that you could actually do is put all the data into a CMA, into a LLM. In this case, for those of you who know me, I live and work within a country club. I like to say I'm the poorest guy in the richest neighborhood. It's a great place to be, guys. I got to tell you, it's terrific. And what I did was I uploaded at Greg's suggestion all of the past sales between 2023 and currently into 2024. So one of the things that I could say to this now that it has that information stored, and let me show you what that looks like. You see that gobbledygook? Okay, you can't even read. That's ridiculous. But guess what? The computer can, because now I could type into it, can you please provide comps for 4-bedroom, 4-bath homes selling for less than $3 million? And what this is actually doing is it saved that information. And this is going to take, see, it says processing it all, stand by. Believe it or not, even light speed is a speed. It takes some time. What this guy is doing is it's taking its time and it's looking up all that data that I put in. And at some point, it's going to spit out, hopefully sooner rather than later. Giving it another minute here. There we go. So now it's showing 17829 Scarsdale Way. That was the sold price. Here's all the different things that are actually, that it's come out with. And it's giving these as possible comps. Again, it's within a restricted farm area. Now I could say, choose which properties I actually want to have. I could drill down and ask more questions about this 17829. And I could say, let's pretend that we like all of it. Great. I am selling Terry Robinson a house here. Can you please write a pitch letter to him about pricing and 4-bedroom homes? Now, I would never just do this. I would probably do more because I've reversed it. Terry's the buyer, but it actually comes up with and it's very formal, Mr. Robinson, wrong spelling there. But we got, and it will actually come up with this with the information that was based and put into the CMA, into the LLM in the first place. Again, I'm going through this very rapidly, guys, and I know you wouldn't really work that way. I'm just trying to share with you the possibilities of what you could do with this tech. I'm trying to share with you the possibilities that if you actually do a data dump, and by the way, if any of you want to take a deep dive into any one of these things, let's talk and we can make a special session up with it. Because to me, cranking out the information is a very important thing. Okay, moving right along. Expireds. Michael, is Michael here? Where's Michael? Michael's somewhere.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Michael. So you're following up with expireds. Let's talk about that. Like, how much time do you dedicate to the calls?
How much time they want. I mean,
No,
preparing.
when it comes to actually preparing, when you're saying expireds, I'm imagining it's cold calling them for your marketing effort. Is there a certain amount of time you put in a day, a week, a month, a quarter into making that as a sales effort?
I don't know if I have it marked down to how many hours, but it's it's a process because you got to make sure that you got to try to find their number. You got to make sure it's not on a do not call list. And it's within my range. Sometimes I don't find that. Do I draft a letter up to send to them? So, yeah, I have no science to it. It's just a beat it out process.
Okay. And what percentage of your business is coming through this?
I'm just starting to get more into doing expired. So I'm not the right person to talk to as far as saying I'm a good expired person. I'm just starting to get into doing those calls. I don't like cold calling.
Got it. Okay. Well, look, there's a few different ways to actually handle this. One, at least from a technical standpoint, if you have a database of expireds, one thing that you could do is clean that data using ChatGPT or Claude or any LLM. And what do I mean by clean that data? You could actually take the information about that particular person's home and put it into the AI, into ChatGPT in this case, and ask it to give you the perfect pitch for that property based on what you know about. So, if you want to, and that's very granular, you're going to have to go through each and every single person if you work in that way. But there is a way to go a little step further. If in fact you speak with somebody on the phone, what I'd like to know is what happens to them after the fact. See, it's not so much the first call that's made. It's all the stuff that's going on, just like Terry with his event. It's all the stuff that's going to go on after that. So if you could follow the rule of actually capturing these people and getting more than one touch point, you've got a greater probability of being able to use and get them in the future. In other words, you've made the cold call to them, you've made the connection. Now the question becomes, can you also get their email? Can you also get them on, what information are they more likely to want? Using technology, you're going to be able to reach out to them on a fairly regular basis. You're going to be able to hit them with our CRM, and we brought up CRMs. We have what's called a drip campaign. Most of you have heard of it, where you could put them into that CRM with a very specific mission to get them a timely message, either by email, text, or it could also send you a reminder to mail out to them. So while cold calling is something that, at least technology, believe me, we tried it, it's not there yet where you could have an AI make the cold calls for you. Michael, you're getting to a point where we're very quickly going to be able to have AI fool you into thinking you're speaking to a human. I don't know if anybody's spoken to ChatGPT lately. Has anyone tried the new tech with ChatGPT? It's almost indistinguishable. And I'm just going to give you a quick one here for those that haven't, because just came out.
Can this be one for role play?
This could be one for role play as well. And again, there's just so much tech on my computer right now that it's taking forever to do this. I should stop doing these demos. It's one of those things that I'm waiting on ChatGPT and it's just taking an awful long time. Okay, well, hopefully I'll be able to get this thing going again. Give me one more second and we'll move on. Okay, hey, ChatGPT, one of the things that I'm wondering is at what point do you think I'm going to be able to have automated cold calls? I've got a group of realtors that are in my mastermind right now that are very curious to see, will AI be able to actually do the calls for them?
Edmund, AI-driven cold calling has reality in its early stages. Advanced AI can handle simple queries and basic conversations. For more complex or nuanced discussions, the technology is evolving quickly. Within a couple of years, we could see AI making more natural and effective cold calls.
Okay, so let me just interrupt you for a second. I want to just know, do you think it's gotten to the point where the person on the other end of the phone will be fooled and not understand that they're actually speaking to a robot?
AI voice technology has advanced remarkably, with some systems sounding very lifelike. In short interactions, it can be challenging for people to distinguish AI from a human. However, in longer conversations, subtleties in understanding and emotional nuance may reveal the AI's true nature. The technology is getting better rapidly, though, and it may not be long before the difference is virtually undetectable.
Okay, well,
highly confident in this analysis.
can you repeat that as if you were written by William Shakespeare?
Certainly, good sir. Verily, the art of AI speech hath progressed to a point where, in brief parley, mortals may find themselves bewitched, unable to discern machine from man. Yet, as discourse lengthens.
Okay, actually, you know what? I got a better idea. Can you repeat that as if you were Yoda in Star Wars?
Speak like Yoda, I cannot, for it is not my place. Help with other matters, I can.
Okay, well, that was terribly uneventful. Can you translate this to French?
Bien sûr, la technologie vocale de l'IA a tellement progressé que, lors de brefs échanges, il peut être difficile pour les gens de distinguer.
The point is this, for those of you that haven't played around with it in a while, it is advancing. It's advancing rapidly. Michael, I know that was a long-winded answer, but focus on it. If you like the idea of cold calling, here's the thing. No other realtors are doing it. And you're going to find somebody that does it, but just deal with me for a second. You're going to beat the competition because quite simply, people are not embracing this that fast, and there will be a limited window for you to win. I'm telling you, if you're of the mindset of cold calling, these tools are out there, and we're going to be reviewing them over and over again as that goes on. There's a close cousin to this, circle prospecting. Eddie, Eddie? Eddie, can you unmute Eddie?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell us about how you're circle prospecting.
Well, you mean who I circle prospect or how I circle prospect?
Both.
I typically will always circle prospect my listings, but then I will also, if there's a new listing in a neighborhood that I like, that I've worked in a lot, I'll circle prospect that as well. And generally what I'll do is, it's fairly cumbersome. I will go in and pull a list out of GIS of the homeowners, pare that down into a format that a company called Exact Dial that I use. Then I'll load that up to them and they'll give me phone numbers and emails for those guys and I call.
Okay. And is tech anywhere in that?
No. I mean, other than the service, but no, not really.
Okay. So, there's a few things that I've got in mind for you because circle prospecting is huge. And I hope everyone paid attention. You could circle prospect a property that is not yours, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if Terry has a listing, you could call the neighbor and what would you, if Terry's got a listing, right, in a neighborhood that you want to get yourself into, what are you going to say to the neighbors?
I would generally say something like, we know, Edmund, I just wanted to let you know there is a new listing in the neighborhood, so you may see an uptick in traffic. You may have some people coming through at what I call creeping the neighborhood speed, where they're just checking things out, and I don't want neighbors to be alarmed by that. It's normal. That's what you want. But also, a lot of times, other neighbors are also thinking about selling at the same time, and I didn't know if there was anything I might be able to do for you.
Sure. And when you say circle prospecting, how many people, who are you circle prospecting? How are they being circle prospected? You want to just share that?
It just depends on the neighborhood. If it's a huge neighborhood, I'm probably not going to go more than 25 or 30 around it, the ones that will notice that it's on the market. So it's generally a fairly small number.
Okay. It is a small number. Here's why it works, guys. You circle prospect, you're actually speaking to someone who there's a saying, the nosy neighbor. Everyone is a yenta. Everyone wants to know what's happening in the neighborhood. Everyone wants to know it. They want to hear about what's going on with the neighborhood. If you could be that insight, and if you could be the one to actually share that information, that's fantastic for you to do. Once again, leveraging technology, we could invent any way to actually make your time a little bit easier. Eddie, for example, would you consider texting these people?
Sure.
Okay. Some people absolutely hate it. In fact, I hate it. I think it's kind of annoying. We get these robo texts all the time, but that's probably because it's a lack of personalization. Now, if you actually took a property and you were able to skip trace that neighborhood, Daniel is very good at getting our properties skip traced, where when I say skip trace, you're taking a map of any title company could do this for you, by the way. So if your title company is working for you, put them to work. You can get a neighborhood report of all the data that they have in that neighborhood. Get that information, get this over to, you call Daniel and he can tell you where to go, but you're going to get it to somebody who is going to skip trace it. 500 addresses, about $25, Daniel, something like that, 20. So, okay, so about $25 for 500 addresses. They're going to get you the address, the confirmed address, who lives there, telephone numbers, and sometimes email addresses with 75% accuracy. It's not perfect, but it's going to be 75% accuracy. And then from there, there's various automated text that you're going to be able to put out there. But here's the thing, it's not going to feel that automated, because in the case of Eddie, where he's reaching out within a neighborhood, he's going to say, hey, Terry, I don't know, or Terry was the guy with the listing. We'll find, so, hey, Lisa, I don't know if you knew this, but 1234 Banana Street is for sale. And I don't know if you noticed the uptick of stuff in the neighborhood. I just wanted to let you know, I wanted to see if you were curious about the value and the pricing and what's going on in the neighborhood. Lisa's now going to say, oh, is that your listing? That might be a very normal question for her to ask. Well, no, it's not my listing, but I thought you might be interested in this data anyway. Now, Lisa replies either yes, no, or silence, or go fuck yourself. Hopefully not the last one, but it's going to be yes, no, or silence. That's going to be the what people will probably do. Now, if the answer is yes, you've opened up the opportunity with a whole group of people that you never considered. Now, where's the cold call? There wasn't a cold call. Where's the annoyance? Where's the sales pitch? There really wasn't one. You're just being able to get people engaged. Now, Daniel, yes, go ahead and send that CMA that you quickly put together. Guys, excuse the typos if there is any. The guy put this together in 10 seconds. He's amazing at how he's able to do this. And you can download that. That's the CMA pitch that we have for you. But what you're going to be able to do is create a very similar approach, that if you skip trace, you know the information of the people. Hey, Terry, hey, Bob, hey, Mary, whoever it is. I don't know if you saw 1234 Main Street is for sale. Would you like to get some more information about this or about what's going on in the neighborhood? Then they're going to, of course, ask who you are. You're going to engage. There's a failure rate. There must be a failure rate. It only makes sense, but there's also a success rate. And what happens with those names after the fact is where you're going to be able to win. Because for the ones that say yes, now, again, remember the rule of crap. Capture, reward, automate, and plan. You've captured that person. They've already said yes. Now you're going to be able to take them down your sales funnel and be able to run more information. Good. Lisa loves this. She never thought about circle prospecting someone else's listing. Yes. And don't put your hands on your head like that, Lisa. I hate that emoji. Actually, I like that emoji. But it's true. You didn't consider. That's why we're coming to things like this. If you got one golden nugget out of here today, I'm delighted. So just think about that. Okay, we've got just a minute or so here. Actually, we kind of don't. We need to get to, scheduling social media. That's the last one that I'm going to do. Daniel, what was it? Hootsuite that we use? I think we used Hootsuite at one time. Is that something? He's nodding. So yes, Daniel, if you could put a few options out there. So social media, a lot of you are saying to me, you don't have the time, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have this, you don't have that. What you can do, and Daniel, if you could find at some point, we'll post this on the Rain Nation page. We had a mastermind about how to automate the creation of social media posts using ChatGPT or similar technology. You can now create whatever post that you want, have that in a scheduler, and the whole thing's done it for you. I'll give you some ideas. We've got Christmas coming, actually 10 weeks from today. Believe it or not, 10 weeks till Christmas. You better be good. You better be very good. But there's something that you can make for every single week to get that post going. Look, if you're very religious and you find that offensive, then forget I said it. Don't do it. If you feel as though it's exploiting a holiday, I once had someone say that to me. I'm always walking on eggshells. I'm always pissing off somebody. But if you want to engage in that as a methodology, and I'm telling you it works, there's a reason that you keep seeing all the Christmas stuff out there. You're going to be able to use ChatGPT to put together a series of posts that you're going to want. You're going to be able to take those posts and put it into something like Hootsuite and then set it and forget it and get the tweets, texts, emails, LinkedIn, whatever it might be out there. And Daniel's going to get those for you. We're going to post onto the Facebook page, as well as Daniel, put it on our blog as well. We'll talk about getting it onto the Rain Nation blog. We're going to make a short post for you, how to get Hootsuite, how to put your posts in that. We're going to have a link to the mastermind on using ChatGPT to create social media, and then you're done. There's no excuse not to have content anymore, guys. And I'm just telling you that that's a big, big thing. Okay, questions before we wrap up. I know that there's an awful lot. This was really just to whet your appetite. I hope you downloaded the workbook, because I think you could really think through what you need to do and then get it done. And you'll be able to see, after the initial setup, it's really not a heck of a lot of time, and it will keep your phone ringing. That's really my goal here, is to keep you busy and to keep you making more and more money. For those of you who have not yet subscribed, please, please, please consider joining our mastermind. It's only $30 a month. You could drop out at any point. And what we're really doing here, and for those of you who are interested in one-on-one coaching, I've got a program for that as well. But really, there's a great opportunity to be able to grow and learn and have a great database of agents from around the country to help you out. Now, wants, needs, and brags. This is the point in the meeting where I'd like to talk about what you want, what you need, and what you want to brag about. It could be about a deal that you got. I guess my team is on their way here. We closed a great deal yesterday that took some time, and I've got another deal that's closing tomorrow. So that's my brag. Who's got a want? Who's got a need? Who's got a brag? We'll go to Eddie, Terry, Lisa, Greg, any one of you, Lucine, Marcelo, Erika, anyone who's got a want, need, or brag.
Hey, Ed, but I have a few wants. I've got three listings that are perfect listings. They're beautiful. Two are huge properties with big mountain views. There's another one that's a small little patio home in a 55+ community. So there's a lot of good property for sale in Western North Carolina. So anybody that has buyers that are looking to come to this area, let me know.
Sure. And for those who don't know, Eddie's in Asheville, which made national news, regrettably, for the storm. How's the cleanup going, Eddie? You guys okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's coming along, but the most devastated areas are still very much that. I mean, those guys have really got a long, hard road. So as you see things coming forward about different charities and whatnot, the needs are always changing, because now it's starting to get cold. It was in the low 40s this morning. So, their needs are changing as the seasons change.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting chilly here. It was 75. Sorry, I had to fuck with you.
It's terrible, right?
Poor Ed.
I'm too fat and too white to take the South Florida weather. I'll take my Western North Carolina weather any day.
Okay. We'll make that the quote of the week. I'm too fat and too white. Who else? Wants, needs, and brags. Thank you for that, Eddie. Always good having you here. Anyone? Okay, guys.
I just want to say thank you for a great meeting. There was a lot of good nuggets in this one.
Good. Well, and Lisa, thank you. Lisa, you're not making it to Florida this winter, are you? Anybody coming down?
No, I'm not. But if anybody wants to get out of the hurricane path, we'd love to have you move to Arizona.
Okay, good knowing that as well. Anybody make it to Florida? Lunch is on me. Let me know. I'd love to be able to get together with you. And certainly I'd love to catch up with you guys after this meeting as well if you have the time. Okay, guys. That's basically it. Our next meeting is on you got to unmute there, Daniel. You're like talking.
23rd.
The next, and what's the topic? Do we have the topic? Oh yeah, mention the art of negotiation. Great. So we've got another negotiation topic. I want you to bring to that meeting. When did you fall on your face? When was the question that was asked that you weren't prepared for? What are the things that you're able to do? And then we also have advanced client relationship management for realtors. So we've got that as well. Somewhere between then, we'll be throwing in more tech and more of the stuff as this comes out. I like to share it with you. If you've discovered stuff, there's no way one person could keep up with all that's going on in real estate tech and all the stuff that's out there. We're attempting to do it, but I'm counting on you to tell me about it so we could thoroughly research it and take it back to everyone and start training you on it as we learn it ourselves. We're really bumping our way to the top here, guys. So with that said, Terry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Terry's ready. And for those of you who haven't seen, this is really something special. This is something.
Can you sing it like Shakespeare?
Yeah, Terry's gonna. Yeah, we'll have to get him.
I am not ChatGPT, so I will have to practice. Maybe, perhaps, forsooth, nexteth time.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll do. I prefer you to do it as Yoda, but yeah. So we for those of you who haven't been to the meeting, this is the time in the meeting where we really need to bid farewell to the next meeting, and it makes me say it really was great having you here today. It was so much fun having all of you on today's meeting, and I look forward to seeing all of you on Wednesday, October 23rd, for another exciting episode of
Rain Nation.
Very good. Thank you. Again, never.
I like original Terry.
Thank you, Lisa. It's a classic.
If you make it to New York, lunch is on Terry, and he'll give you autographs. He's a great guy. Thanks.
There you go.
Good to see everybody. Take care.
Have a good week.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.